What was meant to be a joyful birthday celebration quickly turned into heartbreak when a Chicago woman was killed, an innocent bystander of a shooting that took place on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. 33-year-old Jessica Williams had to be convinced to take time for herself and celebrate her birthday. The single mother's focus was her two young children, according to cousin Cardasia Wells, who did not want to show her face on camera.
It's either work, my kids, or doing something with my kids. There's no in between, so she don't make free time for herself.
But Williams, the oldest of four, decided it was time to celebrate. She, two of her siblings, her mother, other family members, and Wells went to New Orleans on Friday, planning to come back Sunday, the day of Williams' birthday.
That was the goal, to just celebrate her and my cousin too, because he had just graduated college, so we was going to celebrate the both of them.
Wells says it was around 2 a.m. on Sunday when the family was heading back to their hotel after a night in the French Quarter.
On our way leaving, two guys got into an altercation, and we're not thinking that they're gonna, pull out any weapons or any of that, because it's a big crowd.
New Orleans police say the fight led to a shootout on Bourbon Street. 4 people were shot, and they include Williams, who was killed, and her younger sister, who was injured.
How you go to another city and just try to have some fun, and return with everyone but one person.
New Orleans police say they interviewed 2 persons of interest and are looking for another man they believe is the suspect. They shared this picture with us. Meanwhile, Williams' close-knit family is rallying around her children, who are 7 and 5 years old, while supporting each other.
I thought I was going to be okay, and I thought that I can get past this one. I thought that tomorrow was going to get better, but I can't see it getting better.
Williams' sister is still recovering in a New Orleans hospital. She's expected to come home later this week.
The suspect accused of opening fire on Bourbon Street and killing one woman is still on the run.
That's what police are saying, and we now know the person killed was a mother from Chicago. The coroner identified her as 33-year-old Jessica Williams. WDSU reporter Shay O'Connor live from Bourbon Street with what witnesses say unfolded. Shay.
Gita and Sella, what we do know is that Jessica Williams was in town celebrating her birthday. In fact, social media posts from that night show Jessica with money on her clothes along the street, having the time of her life before it was sadly taken away.
I don't visit Bourbon, I don't go on Bourbon, any of that, because it's always something on Bourbon.
Strong words from a mother who says one of the most popular streets in America is the home of crime she wishes she didn't witness. Sunday morning, Jay says she was riding on Canal Street when all of a sudden traffic came to a standstill. She got out of her vehicle to see what was happening.
And once we got out, we saw the victim's sister that was shot. She was shot in her back. The 2 police officers walked her up from Bourbon to Canal Street. And once she got to Canal Street, she kind of collapsed.
Jay says she ran over to see if she could assist.
She was screaming for them to get away from her, to help her sister, to save her sister, that they were from out of town.
Then,
after they got her into the ambulance, then we seen a second victim. He was covered in blood. He looked lifeless, just limp on the stretcher. It was a very, very, very traumatic experience.
Jay says she went home shaken up, later finding out the extent of what she saw. New Orleans police say 33-year-old Jessica Williams was shot and killed while celebrating her birthday in town from Chicago, her sister included. It is believed Jessica and her sister were innocent bystanders, and that a fight potentially led to the gunfire.
Well, that's definitely scary, especially for your birthday. You're out here to try to have fun, and that's the last thing anybody wants, especially coming out of the group.
This man seen with a gray and black hoodie is believed to have pulled the trigger.
Something needs to happen to ensure that the tourists that come from out of town are safe here, because after a while, nobody's going to want to visit New Orleans.
And not much is known about Jessica other than her traveling from Chicago, also being a mother. I should also note that a lot of people who live and work in this area tell me they're still trying to get over the terror from the terror attack on January 1st. So this definitely rattled a lot of people. If you do know anything at all that could lead to an arrest, you're being urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 822-1111. Reporting live from along Bourbon Street, Shay O'Connor, WDSU News.
All right.
Suspects are in custody following the death of a Chicago woman in New Orleans. 33-year-old Jessica Williams was shot on Bourbon Street. That happened over the weekend, and she was the mother of two. Police say that one man was taken into custody this morning, this in connection with the shooting, and a second suspect is in the hospital after being shot himself. Police say the two men fired shots at each other, and Williams was an innocent bystander. Suspects are in custody following the death of a Chicago woman in New Orleans. 33-year-old Jessica Williams was shot on Bourbon Street. That happened over the weekend, and she was the mother of two. Police say that one man was taken into custody this morning, this in connection with the shooting, and a second suspect is in the hospital after being shot himself. Police say the two men fired shots at each other, and Williams was an innocent bystander.
New Orleans police arrest two men they say shot at each other on Bourbon Street and killed a bystander. Good evening, I'm John Snell.
And I'm Meg Gatto. The victim's family released a photo of her just minutes ago, as Chris Welty reports.
Meg, John, this is 33-year-old Jessica Williams. She was in town from Chicago celebrating her birthday when she was fatally shot. 3 others were also wounded, including her sister. Police say Makai Andrew was arrested this morning and Dontrell Bradley is in custody but hospitalized because he was also shot. Bradley is wanted in Texas on probation violations. The NOPD says Andrew was shot at Bradley, who returned fire early Sunday morning in the 200 block of Bourbon Street. Police say Bradley is wanted in Texas on 2 probation warrants. He will also face a charge of felon in possession of a firearm from the Bourbon Street shooting. Williams' mom and stepdad attended this afternoon's news conference but did not speak or take questions.
I can't say how sorry we are this happened, especially to someone from out of town who came in to enjoy our city and were faced with this, tragic incident. But the only comfort I can do for them, or consolation we can give them, is that the shooters have been apprehended.
NOPD says the Williams family is tending to their other daughter who was shot. A GoFundMe was created to support Williams' children. According to a GoFundMe, Williams leaves behind a 7-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. Police ask anyone with information on the shooting to call Crime Stoppers.
Details at noon as New Orleans police identify the woman killed in a mass shooting on Bourbon Street this weekend as 33-year-old Jessica Williams. This comes as New Orleans police are searching for a person of interest who they say is connected to the violence. So this is the man police are trying to track down right now. Take a good look at your screen. Detectives believe that this guy here in the black and white hoodie is a person who opened fire in the French Quarter in those early morning hours on Sunday, all unfolding really in that first block of Bourbon Street, leaving that woman, Jessica Williams, dead and another woman and a man hurt. A 4th woman was also shot running to the corner of Canal and St. Charles for help. Again, take a good look. If you know any information as to where that man is or who he is, please call police or Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, NOPD's crucial camera.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. One, I want to first extend our condolences for those family members, friends, and also our residents and businesses on Bourbon Street and what happened the other night. This should have never happened. This is senseless, but I am pleased to tell you that we have apprehended the other suspect we're looking for. I will give you their information shortly, but first I want to thank Jessica Williams' family for being here, her mom, her stepdad from Chicago who are here and tending to their other daughter. I can't say how sorry we are this happened, especially to someone from out of town who came in to enjoy our city and were faced with this, tragic incident. But the only comfort I can do for them, or a consolation we can give them, is that the shooters have been apprehended. We first identify Makai Jarius Andrew, 2/13/2005. He is identified as the initial shooter, the person who started this. The second person, Dontrell Bradley, is also in custody. He returned fire. Keep in mind that we're still investigating as we are giving you this initial information about who we have in custody, but I don't want to get into a whole lot of specifics. And in regards to the family members that are here, I don't want them to relive this incident. If there's any additional information we need to put out, we'll let you know. This is something that should have never happened in our city. And I want to be clear that if you do this and you bring violence to not only our residents, but tourists in the city, you will be apprehended, you will be caught, and we will bring you to justice. I want to give my thanks to not only our homicide detectives and NOPD who worked so diligently in this to make this identification and recognize who were the perpetrators. I also want to thank the U.S. Marshals Service, our VALS unit, our VCATE unit, LSP, and JPSO who made the apprehension of this individual. So with that, I have with me also Captain Palumbo of the 8th District, Chief Lebrano, the Field Operations Bureau Chief. I have Chief Gernon, the Investigative Services Bureau Chief. So with that, we'll open it up for questions.